and welcome back to Train Them Up. My name is Allie and I am so glad that you joined tonight because we are going to be talking about Gather Round's Letters and Numbers 3 in the Jungle curriculum. We just wrapped this up and it was absolutely wonderful. We have been thoroughly enjoying this curriculum. It is for preschool and we have learned so much from it. So the boy that I nanny, he is 4.5 years old and he breezed through Letters and Numbers 1 and 2 this summer, and we decided, you know what, we'll just go ahead and keep plowing through and go for 3. And he will typically do between 2 and 4 lessons a day. He asks to do more very frequently. So Letters and Numbers 3 goes through letters A through M and numbers 0 through 10. And there are a lot of other concepts like first, second, third, size is what weighs more or less, comparisons. There's all sorts of different lessons that they learn in here. So for example, I don't know if you can see this really well. There's different categories. And this is the week overview in the snapshot. So with the science, you always get to learn about 2 animals, which we love animals. It's super fun and engaging. The kids really like that. And there's always Bible. I really love reading from our storybook Bible and tying it in from other random Bible sheets that I have, like coloring. If it's not already in the curriculum for the boy that I nanny, he really likes to do art. So sometimes we get creative with those extra Bible sheets, and then it'll tell you alphabet, what letter you're learning about. And in Letters and Numbers 3 and 4, you learn how to write your numbers and your letters. So this is a great curriculum for an intro to writing. I will say though that there is a add-on. It's the handwriting. And I thought this was going to be a huge hit, and it actually wasn't. And I was kind of disappointed. We ended up stopping, I think, like in the D, E. Oh, we did a little bit more than I thought. Okay, we stopped at G. But this is what it looks like for A, the first page. And then the next page looks like this. And for a kid who is just learning to write, I feel as if this fades very quickly from tracing it to just using those dots right here. And those are consistent throughout the curriculum. I do really like that. I just wish there was more tracing of the letters for a few lines before they fade to the dots, and then trying to do it independently, because I want him to practice them correctly and to get that motion down. In the actual curriculum, they have a few different spots where they will practice writing a letter. And we just did this one yesterday. So this is L, and it goes through and it talks about how you make the letters. And then later on in the lessons, you have some more practice. Oh, here's for the numbers, number 10. So they trace it twice and then they try and write it themselves. And I feel like they need a little bit more, hence why I got the handwriting, because I thought, okay, perfect. We're gonna do the first page and they'll get to trace those out. I'll get to walk him through each step. But this was just not enough. So I ended up getting just something from the store. I'll link it below if I can find it, where he can just trace them over and over and over again, because he really just needed that extra practice. And anyways, back to the snapshot. So you practice your alphabet, and then there are fine motor skills. There's lots of cutting, and each letter has a book that you cut out, and they will staple them together, and they get to read them to you, and they get to color it and decorate it, and also write and practice those letters in there as well. And those were super, super fun. He enjoys reading those mini letter books. It just has given him a really great sense of confidence, which I'm really looking forward to him putting into even more practice when we begin the kindergarten, in I would say probably even first grade curriculum called Ready to Read. And that is the next step up after you finish Letters and Numbers 4. We just finished 3. We'll move on to 4 soon. And we're also going to be doing the brand new Dinosaurs unit as well. So you have your fine motor skills, your social studies, before and after, and art. There's so many art opportunities in here. So I really like the questions. I ask him after we've completed our lesson, later in the day, or even the next day, to see what he remembers. And honestly, he remembers 99% of what is on here. So his recall is really amazing. And I think that's due to the fun and super engaging lessons. They are short, they're about animals. And if you want to do an accelerated version, it is so easy to do, because you have 2 pages, 2 days with the same animal, and then the next day you have a different animal, and the Bible theme is the same throughout. Each of the Bible sections are a little bit different, and up at the top it shows you exactly what you need to do. Super easy to use. This is hands down the best preschool curriculum that I have ever tried. And I honestly don't think we will ever go to anything else, because it is that amazing. And at the very end, you will have a review, and there's always an optional activity or extension activity. Highly encourage you to do those if you have time, because they are so fun. And there's also a prayer break, which I really enjoy. And we did not do this, but we always took out the different animals and we kind of laid them out on the ground, and we would talk about them throughout our study. We didn't put them on the map, but we do have, if I can reach it, this awesome globe. I think it's the Learning Resources, and when I got it, I just pasted on the stickers, stuck them on there, and this is what we use for our geography. And it's so simple and easy, and guess what? It's also a puzzle. So this has been really fun for us to use along with letters and numbers, because he'll get to spin around the globe and he'll say, oh, here's Asia. And he likes to take out the little names and then put them back in. And he has been learning north and south, west and east. And so that has been really, really fun to do along with this curriculum. So overall, I would say this was a winner. We really, really enjoy the lessons in here. They are super engaging and fun. One other thing besides the handwriting that I would like to see improved, and I will say this, if you have a suggestion or you don't like something, Rebecca Spooner and the Gather Round Homeschool staff are wonderful at receiving feedback. Make sure it's constructive and you're not just like hating on the curriculum. And I don't understand how anyone could really just not like the curriculum, because it's so amazing. But they really do take your feedback to heart. And I am looking forward to seeing an updated version of this, because I do think there should be some more handwriting available. And also the second thing that I didn't particularly care for, because I like to take certain lessons out and just use 3-4 days worth of lessons in our Mead notebooks. And unfortunately, some of the pages, and it could be that I printed this off weird, but I don't think so, because this has happened for letters and numbers 1 and 2 as well, where we will have the end of a lesson. Hopefully you all can see that. Here's letter K. And then on the flip side, it's L. That's a really, really nitpicky, but it would be super helpful if all of the lessons were just front and back. Something that I really appreciated was the handwriting check, and having them pretend that they are the teachers and looking at the letters and seeing, okay, is this one good? And if it's not, why is it not good? And that has helped the little boy that I watch and homeschool him to be more aware of how he is writing. The number lines were so fun. These were really, really great. I love how they're nice and big, and the kids just really had a lot of fun going from one number to the next. And they learned all sorts of different animals, just a ton of animals. And here is a number worksheet, and I loved how they taught about tally marks. I think tally marks are not covered as much, and I also really liked how they had to count how many, and then they had to draw certain things on there, and then you also practiced those letters again. And there's always more practice throughout the lesson, but I want to say it's only 3 or 4 times that they write it by themselves. So more handwriting would be awesome. And let's see here. So here's one of the animals. I believe this is from the very last week for letter M. This is a squirrel monkey, and I'm not too particular about how he colors them. I like him to be creative, but there are certain times where I will tell him, hey, let's look at the teacher guide and I want you to copy the colors onto here. But otherwise, he comes up with these really awesome and fun designs. And further into the curriculum, you go into 10 frames, and it's a very gentle approach, but it's also really, really great. And I do apologize for the binding here. I decided, oh, I'm gonna coil bind, it's gonna be great. And then the pages weren't turning that well. And then I put them in a bigger coil, and that still wasn't working really well. And he was getting frustrated, I was getting frustrated, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hole punch them and throw them in a binder. But then I saw a 5-star Mead flexible binder. And I think I have one over here. I'm gonna go grab it really quick. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So these Mead 5-star flexible binders are honestly the best. I generally put 1 week's worth of lessons in here to keep it nice and thin. Right now it's pretty thick because I have letters and numbers and artists in here, and some morning, like, get your brain thinking worksheets. So this just makes it so much easier to go someplace. Like, we often go to the park, and now that the weather is starting to get a lot colder, we probably won't be going outside, but I really love these, and they're so simple to use. So we have some Master Books math in here. He loves doing extra math. Otherwise, you do not have to add any math, any language arts, anything else to the Gather Round letters and numbers curriculum. And I'll have to talk about this in another video, but we use artists as part of our morning basket. There are 20 lessons, and we have randomly picked out certain ones to do in the morning time. So it's a little bit of a hodgepodge. And since he's a pre-reader, it's not like we're going in an exact order. It's just something fun and different to do in the morning. So here is letters and numbers for his student book. There's A and B. Originally they were all together, but the books were huge and the kids were having trouble carrying them around, so they broke them up into 2 different books. And you can see how I did some coil binding and then decided that wasn't gonna work. So it looks a little crazy, but that's all right. We are really pumped to go through letters and numbers 4. It's in the air, and it covers letters N through Z, and I believe numbers, let me check. Here's the teacher's guide. Numbers 11 through 20. Yes, right there. And all sorts of other concepts are covered in here as well. So we will do this. We'll probably do letters and numbers in the afternoon when my daughter is sleeping, because let's be honest, I cannot focus, and he cannot focus with a toddler running around wanting all the toys and all the things. So I'm not sure if we're going to attempt the handwriting again this time or not. I feel as if his handwriting is improving, but it's because he is tracing over and over and over, and getting that muscle memory down for those letters. Oh, and something else I didn't mention that I also got that I thought would be really fun to try with these was the coloring book. And I was not very impressed with them. I just felt like it was more busy work. However, I will say some kids love coloring and they do better coloring and doing something while the lesson is being read. The little boy that I watch is not that way. So what ended up happening, a few letters into it, my daughter, who is now 15 months, started drawing in this. And I mean, she stayed in the lines pretty much, which is pretty good, but I was using it more for her than for the preschooler. So you can certainly get use out of it. I would recommend it if you need to keep your kids busy while you're reading the lesson, or even just for morning read alouds, or some quiet time. This would be a good option, but we just didn't end up using it like I thought we would. And so we will probably just, I don't know, we'll probably try doing the coloring book. Ooh, there are lots of lines. I must have not run the maintenance cleaner, head cleaner, before I printed this off, but that's okay. They're just coloring pages. They are beautiful, I will say that. Gather rounds, drawings are absolutely phenomenal. I'm not sure if we'll use them or not. Great if we do. It's okay if we don't. It's there. We can always use coloring pages later on. So for letters and numbers 3, I did want to share a few books that we really enjoyed. This National Geographic Kids, Little Kids First Big Book, this we used all the time. Anything National Geographic, the pictures are just so vibrant and they just capture you. And a capybara, this is one of the animals that you learn about. So this was something super fun to read out loud and to look at. And, ooh, and here's a green anaconda. We just went to the zoo yesterday to celebrate, and we saw an anaconda, and it like snapped at us. I've never seen snakes in a cage react that way, so that was really, really shocking. Usually it seems like they're just sleeping and hanging out, but this one like came right out of our face, and it was terrifying. Anyways, you also covered the blue poison dart frog. Hopefully this is zooming in for you, but highly recommend getting this book if you are going to do In the Jungle. This one isn't all jungle, but I found this at Half Price Books, and it is the coolest book. It is called A Slide and Seek, and it's Safari. And watch this. You just move this tab and it transforms. It is so, so neat. And it is a seek and find. So there are some animals off to the side here, and then you find them. And some of them are really tricky. There's some that are shadows, there's some like in the trees, in the water, that kind of thing. But again, look, it is so neat how it just transforms like that. So this is a really, really great book. This is one of the pages that we kind of focused on because it's in the rainforest. And this reminds me a lot of The Lion King. I love Lion King. It's my favorite Disney movie. Random side note, fact about me. And it's just, oh, it is so, so fun. The kids really like it. My 19-month-old daughter, she loves pulling these back and forth. She thinks it's hilarious. So there's that book, Life-Size Jungle Animals. This was really fun to get out and look and see how big they are. Let me see if I can find, oh yeah, okay. So with the rivers, whoop, open this up. So there are some actual size photographs in here, which is really neat because during the pandemic, it's not like we're going to the jungle for a field trip. So this is a good way for the kids to see, okay, this is how big this actually is. And this is a scarlet macaw, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, all those colors. Beautiful. So there's that. And then this is something that we didn't use as much. Let's explore the jungle, and there are so many stickers in here, and it's like an activity book, and you put them throughout the book. In fact, you know, as I'm like flipping through this, I think we just read some of it and we didn't actually put any stickers in. Yeah, we didn't. I think this would be great for a kid who is really into stickers. The little boy that I watch wasn't really into that. And then this is another great find from Half Price Books. It's my first book of jungle animals. This was a really fun, show you the table of contents here. Really fun book. You could just read a few pages of it, the different layers of the jungle, and there's not much on here, but there's a lot that you can talk about and add to your lesson if you have the time and want to do that. Also, I love this author, Kate Messner. She has a lot of different books, and Over and Under the Rainforest is just beautiful. I believe there's Over and Under in the Snow, and Up in the Garden, and Down in the Dirt. There's a few others, and I just absolutely love this. The illustrator, Christopher Silas Neal. Oh, I wish I could draw like this. Just phenomenal illustrations. They're so beautiful. Love those. So those are just a few of the books that we used. And overall, we really enjoyed Letters and Numbers 3 and the Jungle. I would highly recommend it if you have a preschooler. Buy it, try it. You will love it. It is so simple and easy. You can do as much or as little as you want to. If you're a mom who loves to do DIY crafts and all the glitter and sequins and messy things, then you can do that. Pinterest is your best friend for that. There's also a really amazing app, Gather Round. Rebecca Spooner, God bless her. She has literally thought of everything. The community on the Gather Round Facebook app and also, Facebook and the app are wonderful. There's a lot of resources. People who have gone through Letters and Numbers 3 will have already put all the books that they've read, videos that they've found. Hey, sweet friends. This is Editing Allie. I have no idea where the rest of my video went, so I'm just going to throw up the links for Gather Round's app and Facebook group and their Instagram. Definitely go and follow them. There are so many amazing resources on there. If you are short on time, like I have most of the time, and you don't have a lot of time to look for resources, extra crafts and activities, they're already on there if it's a previous unit. So I highly recommend going checking those out. And before I go, I just wanted to give you a quick reminder to like and subscribe. Have an awesome day, guys. I'll be back soon with a fall book haul.